Jose Alvarez, live-in partner of James Randi, for 20 years in Florida, is pleading guilty to aggravated identity theft in January 2012. He faces up to 12 years in jail, and Randi has admitted to knowing all about the identity fraud, thus being likely complicit, where a New York man's identity was stolen to obtain a false passport in 1987, which was renewed more than once. Alvarez, a Venezuelan, used the fake identity passport, it is said, on numerous skeptic web pages, to travel the globe, perpetuating the hugely successful Carlos Hoax, Alvarez channeling a fake 2,000-year-old spirit for some 15 years. But the facts differ greatly from the numerous gullible skeptic web pages that parrot this 15-year globe-trotting tour, where they claim that thousands of people became Carlos followers overnight, proving their gullibility in Sydney. And that, in China, 10 million, yes 10 million people, attended a single session of Alvarez channeling the fake spirit Carlos, and apparently were delighted to have paid good money, only to be told, at the end of the fake show, that they were just so gullible. The web pages, produced by the most gullible skeptics, continue the narrative that the Whistle Stop Tour, so immensely successful, then went to South America, where they conquered that entire continent. For 15 years, Randi/Alvarez, Carlos Hoax web pages say that everywhere they went they achieved massive repeated successes, taking money in theaters from people who were simply delighted and utterly grateful to be told they were gullible in return for their hard-earned money. Everybody believed the Carlos Hoax wherever they went. Swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. No dissenters or skeptics were ever mentioned. That's what the fake history web pages narrate. That's how much gullible skeptics live in their imagination. But the Sydney Carlos Hoax, according to Skeptic magazine, actually backfired on Randi and Alvarez because no one took it seriously. Skeptic magazine said at no time was Alvarez treated with the slightest sympathy. In fact, he was ridiculed for his incompetent amateurish TV performance, and effectively run out of town. Biggest living audience he got was 250 people. In the China tour pages, there is a single photo of Alvarez on the Great Wall, posted. Only that. 10 million people, oh, sure. For the 15-year prolonged South American tour, a Spanish-speaking researcher spent quite some time trawling South American Spanish Google, looking for any web pages commemorating the claimed immensely successful 15-year tour of the Carlos Hoax, where once again it was claimed that Spaniards there, in packed theaters, were delighted and deeply appreciative to pay their hard-earned cash, to be told they were just so gullible by Alvarez at the end of each show. With Randi beaming with pleasure from behind the curtain at finding such vast numbers of gullible fools. The predicted behavior in this sociological experiment was for thousands of gullible people to be instantly transformed into Randi skeptics. This happened to 19-year-old Alvarez when he met 60-year-old Randi. He saw the light, and pity. His words. Well, guess what? Such a vast historical event, claimed the sociological marvel, the great socially transformative event, engineered by the great James Randi, and Alvarez facing 12 years jail, has left not a trace on Spanish Google. Not a single commemorative photo, not one newspaper clipping, not one magazine article, not one blog, not one video, not one magician's page, not one memoir, fund or foul in any social media, not one historical article recording the great Carlos Hoax in South America. That's a lot of Spanish countries that have no record of Alvarez or Randi. There are no Randi skeptic clubs in South America. One of his footprints. Simple conclusion, skeptics great and small are naturally mendacious, flying at every utterance, thus having no credibility whatsoever.